Democrats using Martin Luther King Jr. Day to push their voting agenda and attack Republicans. President Biden leading the charge for his party and the media by railing against the GOP and once again making claims about voter suppression. Watch.
Dr. King wasn't just a dreamer of that promise, he was a doer. And on this federal holiday that honors him, it's not just enough to praise him. We must commit to his unfinished work. The attack on our democracy is real.
Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, all of them with tears in their eyes for the departure from our democracy that is happening right now.
The politicians are trying to cherry pick their voters. It is anti-democratic. It is anti-American.
Oh, Jesse Waters, I'm so glad we have Nancy Pelosi to translate from legends who have passed away about how they're feeling right now in the afterlife.
Yeah, I'm noticing a trend, Emily, and look what happened. So the black vote put Joe Biden over the top in the primary last time. Did Joe Biden deliver anything for black Americans in 2021? Didn't get Build Back Better, didn't get the election thing, didn't get anything on police reform, education, healthcare, got zip. But the minute the clock strikes 12 and it's a midterm election year, race card comes down. Republicans are trying to subvert the vote. They're going to try to take away your vote. Bull Con or Dixiecrat, you hear it all the time. So what they do is, in the election year, they play the race card to excite the black base. And then when they're out of power and it's an off year, they do nothing for their most loyal constituency. I'm on to them, and everybody else should be. Now, I also read something. He said, Joe Biden, that the Republicans plan to subvert the election. And then Crying Chuck said they're rigging the game and rigging the count. Now, I remember when that kind of direct assault on the integrity of an election was deemed censurable. I mean, you could never say that. You couldn't question the integrity of our democratic institutions. How dare you? But the Democrats are already saying the vote's rigged in the midterms, and I don't think the Pinocchios have laid a hand on either of those guys. And here's another piece of hypocrisy, Emily Compagno.
Whoa.
The Democrats want to federalize the state's election laws, right? But Democrat governors want to fight tooth and nail to regulate their own gun laws, their own state taxes, the way their COVID regulations are, their own health care policies. But they want to take over the state election powers. Well, which one is it, guys? Can't have both.
That's right, Greg Gutfeld, that happens all the time. The cherry picking of these rules, the using of it when it behooves them.
Behooves.
Exactly. I can't do this without saying it at least once. We know that just after saying that, filibustering, for example, right? It was antithetical to the entire bedrock of this country, and then 45 senators used it to rail against sanctions against the Russian pipeline. So to Jesse's point, what's next, Greg?
I don't know, but I admire the fact that you led this segment with Scritti Politti, a very underrated band from the 80s.
So good.
Covered a whole breadth of styles. But can we publish a list of the people that the Dems think aren't racist? And we can put it on a Post-it note on everyone's fridge. Because if they could play this game and talk about how the dead would think, okay? You know, I don't think Martin Luther King would be nearly as far left or even close to this left as the current crop of Democrat leaders. I think he would run screaming with it from them because he was about character, not simply color. He would hope that we've moved on. In the A block, we talked about exploding crime. In B, we talked about the plummeting Democratic numbers. All this has one thing tied to it, and that is the obsession with race and falsely, and Geraldo's talked about this, falsely framing election reform as a civil rights struggle against bigots. This race card isn't just divisive. For the Democrats, it's energy draining. You know, instead of helping all Americans, they're just pitting one group against the other. And that's not working. We see right through it.
Kennedy.
Hi. It's interesting because everyone has a hot take here. You know, Joy Reid says that whoever quoted Martin Luther King, who's a Republican, they just memorized it in high school. She is incredibly divisive to the point of being disharmonious. You know, if we want harmony, if we want a society that works together, then we need to stop listening to people like Joy Reid. She just flaps her claptrap. And then you have the other unjoyful, Joy Behar, saying that it's Republicans who are creating these problems, shoving minority students into failing schools. And I will have her know that the worst schools in the country are in Democrat-led cities where teachers' unions have an absolute stranglehold. And the fact that this one-size-fits-all Prussian factory system is still employed, where teachers are unfireable and schools are unclosable and parents don't have a choice, that is explicitly racist.
Prussian.
Top that, Geraldo. Top that.
Well, I think that people that invoke the name of Martin Luther King for a political, bald-faced political motive really are lowbrow, because you cannot invoke that name and what he did and that period for a law that says you have to have a voting ID, a voter ID, that every voter has to have an ID. Why is that Jim Crow? Why is requiring or requesting you to have a voter ID to prove who you are when you vote? How is that George Wallace? How is that Jefferson Davis? How is that Strom Thurmond? You know, it is really beyond the pale. And I agree about the Joy Reids of the world. There is plenty of room to disagree without being reduced to labeling your opponent as a racist. Why is that racist? Requiring a voter ID. You know, it's just like the civil rights issue of our time is black-on-black crime. Let me hear Joy Reid speak about that once in a while, and then I'll give her more slack.
Geraldo, you said it was lowbrow, but for Nancy Pelosi, it's very highbrow.
And she knew Thomas Jefferson personally, so she actually
exactly
has
right.
some ground here.
Yes, she did.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.